My wife and I own a catering company. Our oldest son is 15 and helps a lot with events. He's autistic, but he's very capable when he's accommodated. We were contracted to cater a rehearsal dinner and a wedding. The rehearsal dinner was obviously much smaller than the wedding. With me, my wife and our oldest, we could pull the whole thing off without using any employees and save a chunk of change. The wedding planner also hired a bartender to make drinks, as we don't offer that service. Our son was setting up the tables and chairs while my wife and I were unloading the food. The bartender asked my son to help him unload some boxes of wine, and my son said no. The bartender offered to tip him, and my son said that he can't touch alcohol. The bartender told him he was being difficult, and my son started ignoring him, because that's how he responds to stress. The bartender tried to talk to him, and when my son continued to ignore him, he grabbed my son by the shoulder and shook him. My son ran to me and told me what happened. I called the police. The bartender started arguing with me. I kept telling him to wait for the police to arrive. My son went to my wife. When the bartender found out my son was 15, he got nervous and left before the police arrived. After the deputy showed up and while I was talking to him, the wedding planner showed up to ask what was going on. I asked her to wait while I finished talking to the deputy. My wife and son had gone back to setting up after the bartender left. The wedding planner demanded I talk to her and tell her why the police were present. The deputy told her she had to wait. She stood by and listened to our conversation. I told the deputy what happened. He said since he didn't witness anything he couldn't do anything, but to call him if the bartender returned. When the deputy left, the wedding planner called the bartender to ask him to come back. He said he wouldn't come back because he was worried I'd call the cops again. Ultimately, the rehearsal dinner had great food but no alcohol. The wedding planner asked us to serve at least the wine and beer the bartender had brought, but we refused because A, we don't offer that service, B, we aren't licensed to do that, and C, that stuff didn't belong to us. After the dinner, the wedding planner went off on us. She said we ruined the event and that we were fired. I clarified with her that she didn't want us to show up to the wedding venue and cater the wedding, which was the next day. She said she didn't. I said okay. We left. My son actually filmed our conversation, and I watched it when we got home. And she was very clear. At 4 a.m. she called us to talk about the wedding. I reminded her she fired us. She said we were already paid, so we had to show up anyway. I said she fired us. She said if we didn't show up she would sue. I told her to sue. I also told her I had her on video firing us. We did not cater the wedding. I heard from the DJ that they ended up ordering pizza. The bride was apparently screamed at the wedding planner for half an hour about it. I actually feel a little bad, because the bride didn't do anything. Maybe I was being petty and should have showed up anyway. We did not return any money, as per our contract, and we ate or donated the food that had already been prepared. I know legally I did nothing wrong, but I feel like a bit of a dick.